What's up, guys? 20,000 subscribers. And actually, this is my 100th video as well, so it's funny how that turned out. What's up? Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. I've got a whole bunch of car videos coming up for you guys too, so definitely stay tuned. Today, I'm gonna be doing a question and answer video like I told you guys about before. In my last vlog that I did telling you guys how to pass missions without your cats, I told you guys at the end of it, post your questions down at the bottom and I'll be answering them. Well, that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing today. So today I'm gonna be going down to Canadian Tire. I think there's a sale on Toolboxes and I think I might be buying one. I don't know. If it's good, if it's on sale, I might pick one up. If not, whatever, we'll see. So I've got a sheet right here with all the questions and everything. What's up, cop? I've got a sheet right here with most of the questions that you guys put down in the comments. So, first one, how did you start your love for cars? Well, this actually wasn't me that started off my love. My dad basically forced it upon me. So when I was younger, my dad, he used to have 2 car washes. He had one in St. Catharines and he had another one in Welland. He still has the one in St. Catharines now, but the one in Welland, he would always bring me to, and he would always make me dry the cars, wash the cars. Well, not really wash, but like if I was 5, when I was 5, I'd be like going up to the cars and whatever and like pretending to dry it even though his guys would actually do all the work. But he would always bring me down to his car wash and he would show me all the new cars. He'd be cleaning them, licking them clean, and he'd be like, oh, Milan, look at this new Corvette, and be like, oh, look at these big brakes on it, or whatever, like stuff like that. And he would always just go on about it. So ever since I was a little kid, I was always fixated on cars. And since then, my passion for it's only grown. So like, as you guys can tell right now, I live and breathe this stuff. So I wake up cars, I sleep with, well, I don't sleep with cars, but yeah, cars is my life. Gamer Noah Bones asks, how old are you and what's your absolute favorite supercar? His is a Nissan GTR Nismo. So, start off with the first bit. How old am I? I'm 22, my birthday is in September. Yeah, my favorite car. My absolute favorite supercar, not hypercar or anything else, I think it might have to be a Ferrari 458. Reason being, it's mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. Unfortunately, it doesn't come in paddles, which is kind of shitty, but it's still an absolutely beautiful car. As soon as that car came out, my jaw hit the floor and I was like, yeah, that's mine. I'm having one of those one day. That's probably one of my favorite supercars. Steven Mercado asks, how did you learn so much about cars? Was it school or self-teaching? And another guy commented, Perdador1, he said, I like this one. So a couple years back when I was at Brock University, I was studying to be a teacher. So I was going for math and French. Math and French always came very easy for me. Like in school, I got the math award. So numbers is not a problem for me. But as I went to school, I learned that, you know what, I don't know if this is what I want to do. And since then, my passion for cars has only grown. So I was always spending more time on YouTube, learning how to fix stuff, how to learn how to build up my car, how to do other things here and there, instead of actually doing homework. After I was done my second year at Brock, I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is what I want to do. So I left Brock and I actually went to Niagara College and I took an automotive program. I took a MAP 32 automotive apprenticeship program. Now right now I should be doing my apprenticeship, but I'm in no rush. I already know a lot about cars. I'm not saying I know everything, but with where I'm at right now, I'm content. And where YouTube is going, it looks quite promising. Ken Soof asks, how did you learn so much about engines and what would be a good way to start learning? Well, honestly, go under the hood. Find out what goes where, why it plugs into there, and what it all does. If you're curious about automotive stuff and the engines and how all this stuff works, it's not going to be a long time before you actually learn all the basics and you get to learn on how all this stuff works and functions. Obviously, the best way to do this is to go to school for it, but obviously not everyone's going to be doing that. If you want to learn the basics, YouTube is an amazing tool. Like the stuff that I learned when I was still at Brock was like mind blown. I actually wanted more knowledge. I wanted to know more about all this automotive stuff, so that's why I took the program. It's funny because it wasn't even me that wanted to take the program. It was one of my buddies, Zach. He was like, hey Milan, there's an automotive apprenticeship program coming up in Niagara. I'm doing it. You want to come? I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? And it was weird because like everything happened for a reason. Brock wasn't working out for me. I wasn't really feeling it that much. And yeah, it just worked out, I guess. Freakin' asks, what school do you go to and what are you majoring in? Well, right now I finished up my automotive apprenticeship program at Niagara, which is actually right there. I'm driving past it right now. But I'm back at Brock and I'm finishing up my program that I originally started. I'm not exactly finishing the same program, but it's very similar. I'm taking a Bachelor of Science, Math major, French minor. So if I want down the road, I have the teachables to teach this stuff. All I'll need to do afterwards is go to Teachers College and then I can teach automotive, math, and French. Xavier the Great Ibarra asks, what do you do for a living? Well, I used to work at a restaurant in Niagara-on-the-Lake called the Pillar and Post, and it was a great job. Money was good. The job was all right, but ever since YouTube picked up, I haven't really been able to put all of my time and effort towards it while I was working at the restaurant. So what I did, I was like, you know what? The money's good. I don't really need the money right now. I have a little bit saved up. I want to see where YouTube can go, because when you're working at a job, you are kind of limited as to how much money you can make. So when I was at Pillar and Post, I would only cap out at whatever their wages plus tips. Now you see some YouTubers that make millions and millions of dollars and have a huge fan base. People send them stuff left, right, and center. So this is what I like doing. It's cars, it's automotive, it's right up my alley. So I was like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. I actually quit my job about a year ago right now. And I've been okay. YouTube has been paying me. It's not amazing money, but as it stands now, it's enough to get me by, which is good. As soon as my channel grows and everything, the more views, the more stuff I get, the more money I'll make, and then, you know, maybe I'll be able to do a build. Now, this actually leads into my next question. Or not quite next, but it's gonna tie into another question down the road. Silent Kills Mods asked, what was your first car and how much did you get it for? Well, I actually got it for free. It was actually my mom's old car. So it went, my mom had this car, then my brother, and then it got passed down to me. So the car was an 03 Nissan Altima, and it was a 3.5 SE. It was silver, it had black leather interior. Now, unfortunately, it was automatic, but it was still an amazing car. I still miss it. The lines on that car just work. I still miss it to this day. It was silver, and I blacked out the wheels, I blacked out the badges. Everything about it was very symmetrical. And actually, funny thing is that this shift knob that I have in my car is actually out of that car too. This was the first modification that I did on that car. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna bring this and I'm gonna keep this along my journey. So that's where this thing's from. It's a Momo, it's a silver Momo shift knob that I actually put in my automatic car that still works for my manual car. Musa Mickey asked, what cars have you owned? Well, that was my first car, and then after that, I got this thing. So as it stands, only 2. Alejandro Libertella asked, video question, why'd you pick Honda? Was it reliability, or was it just the aftermarket support? Love your videos. Well, Wiggett, thanks buddy, thanks for watching. But the reason why I went with Honda was for multiple reasons. There was a picture that I saw on the internet of this car that was lowered, and it had Vossen CV3 wheels on it. And something about that picture was like, you know what? Holy crap, that looks so good. I need that car. I got the car in 2011, and I got the car in 2012, and right now it's 2016, so I've had it for a couple years. I have lowered the car so far, and I put TSW wheels on it. But something about that picture that I saw just sparked my imagination. It just made me want to have this car. I saw how good it could look, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I need that. That was awesome. The beauty of it too is that because it's a 4-banger, it's one of the most reliable engines in the world, the Honda VTEC 4-banger. And the beauty is it came in stick. I needed stick. So the only pet peeve of this car though is that it's front-wheel drive and it doesn't come with a limited slip diff. If this thing was rear and it came with an LSD, I would be completely content with this car. Obviously more power is nice, but I don't need the biggest engine. This car looks great. It does wonders for me. Like, I haven't had a single problem with this car. Like, for this car, I've done brakes, I've done oil changes, and I've done little stuff. Other than that, all the parts and everything that I've done to the car is all for aftermarket. Nothing was actually ever broken that needed to be replaced. Conlar asked, will you ever consider getting a project car and mess around with it? Like drift, turbo build, etc. I'd love to see a build type series. I would absolutely love to do this. Now, a car that I've actually been looking at getting is a Nissan 240SX. It's been done a lot. People put V8s in it. People upgrade the K20 motor. People put LS3s in it. A lot has been done to that. But I was thinking to myself, what can I do that's very original? Now, I'm not quite sure where I want to go with that. I will definitely have a turbo build or something like that. Something stupid coming up for you guys. So the box that I was looking at is actually not on sale. There's a different one that they're selling that's on sale, but that's not exactly the one I want. Anyways, back to this Q&A. All right, so this brings me to my next page. So Justin Hua asked, are you planning on switching up cars eventually? If so, what? Great videos, by the way. Thank you. And planning on switching up cars? Yes, I do, actually. My next car that I want to get needs to be rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive, manual. V6 would be nice. V8 would be ideal. Now, with that being said, there's a couple cars that I was looking at. Now, an Infiniti G37S or a Mustang GT. I was also contemplating the Nissan 370Z, But I don't exactly know which one I would want more. I'm not quite sure which one I would want more. Reason is, I haven't driven them. Simple as that. But yeah, I do plan on getting a new car sometime soon. I've had this car for 4 years now, and I haven't had a single problem with it. With that being said, I don't know if I should keep this a little bit longer, I don't know, or if I should get a new car. But I was looking at getting a new car. If you guys have any input on this, throw it down. I'd love to read them. Next question is from Micro T and Me. What part of Ontario are you from? I'm out of Hamilton. Check out my channel. I do similar videos. Keep up the good work. I'm from the Niagara region. I actually grew up in St. Catharines, but we actually moved about 8 years ago to Fonthill, me and my family. I still live at home. Will Moyer asks, if you could have any car, what would it be, and what would be the first upgrade you do to it? Any car. That's a good one. I think I might do GTR. I've always been a fan of them. I think I might do an R35. The nicest one that I saw last year at our Canada International Auto Show, I was actually able to sit inside one of the GTRs, and I was in heaven. I was sitting there like, yeah, this is home. And if I were to get that car, what I would probably do is an ECU flash. Whenever you reflash an ECU on a turbocharged or even any forced induction car, you always see great performance gains. Reason being, 1 or 2 pounds of boost can go a long way in power. But the thing is, you got to be very careful when you're doing that. If you put too much boost, your fuel pump might not be able to hold up, the injectors, and a whole bunch of other things. But yeah, a tune would probably be the first thing I would do. Dream car, guaranteed a Koenigsegg 1-to-1. I friggin' love those things. There is no compromise with those cars. The best of the best stuff is going into it. And Christian von Koenigsegg is a friggin' genius. I would love to have one of his cars. Now the little hiccup that it's, you know, millions of dollars is kind of a drawback, but that's okay. I'll worry about the financial problem later. McCheese Kid asks, where in Ontario are you? And do you have some sort of heater in the garage for winter? If so, which one? As I said, I'm from Fonthill, and for a heater in the garage, yes, I do have one. It's actually a Home Depot special. It's a kerosene space heater. So what you do with it is you load it up with kerosene, and it burns off all the kerosene and makes heat inside the garage. It does a very good job in the winter, and I don't know what I would do without it. If I didn't have one, I probably wouldn't be able to spend as much time as I do in the garage now as without it. So if you guys are in Canada or somewhere up north, definitely contemplate getting one because it is a friggin' lifesaver. Brendan Cryer asks, would you recommend an exhaust system as an upgrade? If not, what would you do? Well, it all depends on the car that you have. So if you're gonna say do exhaust, if you just change the muffler on it, you're not gonna get a performance difference. Usually, if you even do a catback exhaust, you're not gonna see a big performance difference. The biggest gain that you're gonna get is when you change the restrictions that are closest to the engine. So if you have your engine up front, what you're gonna have after that is piping. You're gonna have the primary oxygen sensor, then you're gonna have your first catalytic converter, then you're gonna have a secondary oxygen sensor, and then depending on the car or whatever, you might have the secondary catalytic converter either behind or in front of the secondary oxygen sensor. So if you guys wanna make power out of an exhaust system, if you wanna make that as an upgrade, a performance upgrade, what you should do is you should either delete the cats or change them to high flow cats. Now the reason why I say that is because those restrictions are closest to the engine. You're gonna notice the biggest power gain when you either change them or remove them. Now after that, everything afterwards is a bonus. So if you can make the engine breathe very well right up to the cats, and then as soon as it hits the cats, it gets inefficient, you're gonna have a lack of horsepower. It's gonna be very restrictive, especially at the top end. That's why when I installed the headers on my brother's Cooper, you noticed a big difference in the top end. When as soon as you hit about 4,000, 5,000 RPM, the car just opens up. Before, as soon as you hit 5,000, it's like dead. It makes more noise, it makes more RPM, but it doesn't feel like it makes any more power. As soon as the car can get rid of exhaust gases faster, if you want to make more power, think about doing the other side of the engine. So after it can get rid of the gases, you need to be able to get the car to breathe gases better. So before the engine, if you change your intake, change the throttle body, and then even if you guys are ballsy enough, port the intake runners of your car so you guys are gonna be able to get more engine into each cylinder. Very little modifications that are actually needed, but the performance gain is actually quite unreal. That's gonna be probably the best way to free up some horsepower on any car, whether it's naturally aspirated or forced induction. Dakota Rose asks, will you do car meets? I don't see why not. Yeah, if it sounds like a good idea, if there's people in the area that want to meet up, yeah, I'm definitely down to do that. James C. Martin Jr. asks, are your tools organized? And if so, when are you going to do a toolbox review? Better yet, if your tools are not organized, when are you going to do a video on how to organize them? Keep doing what you do and the subs will come. is my toolbox organized? You have no idea. I am stupidly meticulous with my box. I'll actually show you guys in another video how organized, how clean, and how maintained my box is. So right now, I've got everything organized. Everything has its own place, and nothing is ever out of line. If I'm, say, working on a car and it, maybe takes me 2 days, after that first day, as soon as I go back inside, go to bed or whatever, and then come back, I will put all of my tools that I used back in the box so I don't lose them. EI be a Mexican asked, STI or Evo? It depends. Now, depending on how much money you have to blow in the car, say if you want to go mad power, ideally you would go for Evo. Because if you put, say, 10 grand into your car, if you have an Evo, you're gonna easily get a lot more horsepower than if you were to put, say, 10 grand into a Subaru. The reason is because of the Boxer engine. And it not only complicates things, but it makes stuff more expensive to get for the power that you're gonna want. So if you wanna make a lot of power, and say you got 5, 10 Gs or however much money, bang for buck, your best bet is gonna be Evo. Don't get me wrong, the Evo has a nice sound to it, but the Subaru has by far a much better sound. I think that the Subaru WRXs, say the STI, is the best sounding 4-cylinder engine out there. No questions asked. A Subaru 4-banger Boxer engine has its own distinct sound. There is nothing like it. Now, if you hear one, you will definitely know, hey, that's a Subaru. You'll be able to hear it from a mile away. Alejandro Baraccio asked, best car to get for under 50 grand. Now, I actually looked this up because I was looking at getting a new car. So I looked at multiple cars from Mustangs, if we're talking sports cars, Mustangs, Nissans, Infiniti, Hyundai, even the Genesis. But I think if you want a true sports car, best bang for buck for a car that's under 50 Gs is the 370 Nismo. It's front engine, rear wheel drive, comes with a limited slip diff, and it screams sporty. Everything about it is nice. It comes with Recaro bucket seats. It comes with 4 piston brakes up front, 2 in the back. It's got very big discs. The wheels that come with the Nismo are forged wheels from Rays. Everything about that car is nice. Now, I'm not too sure about the Nismo, but I'm 100% sure that the regular Nissan 370Z, like even the sport one, you can get an optional supercharger kit for it and turbo. So if you guys are itching more power, there are options for you if you want to go that route. But there's nothing about that car that's not nice. So if I had 50 Gs to blow in a car, that would be my #1 bet. Willie Bays asked, have you thought of getting air suspension? And will you make a video on how to remove small rust spots? Well, for the first question, air suspension. Yes, I have considered it, but the thing is that it's very expensive. Any proper air ride kit will easily cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So even on the cheap side, you're looking at about 3 to 4 grand just for the air suspension kit. Now, that's not including installation or anything else like that. As soon as you want to get your car low, it's expensive, especially when you want to get it to drop to the floor. If you want to go low and have air functionality, my advice to you guys is get coilovers and then air cups. So what it is, it's essentially a coilover system with an air cup sitting on top that on the fly you can change the ride height about 1.5 inches or so. So it's got the benefits of coilovers, so it looks low, and air. So either you can lower it when you want to park it, or you can raise it if you have to go over a pothole. Depends on what kind of setup you guys want. And then the next part is, will you make a video on how to remove rust spots? Yes, definitely. This weekend I've got my friend's car. She hit something when she was going through a drive-through. You know those yellow poles that protect the building from getting hit? Those things. She clipped one of those, and it kind of messed up her rear door and rear fender. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how to fix that. Now, the fun part. Who doesn't like free stuff? I'm gonna be doing a giveaway for you I think in 2 videos from now, and as soon as I hit 50, why would you do that, buddy? And as soon as I hit 25,000 subscribers, I'm gonna be doing a big giveaway. So whether it be a torque wrench or, I don't know, something nice, not like a little $10, $20 thing. I'm gonna do a proper giveaway. So as soon as I hit 25 grand, I'm gonna be making a video and I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber. Without you, I wouldn't be doing this. If you guys have any questions or any other questions you wanna ask me, put them down in this comment section, and then as soon as I say hit 25,000, I'll be doing another video just like this. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. back no more, cause you're just